Hello, everybody. Slim Kirby here. Welcome to my Saturday afternoon stream. Got something very interesting planned for today. Yes, we have the GBACE screen here, but we're not actually going to be playing any Game Boy Advance games today. We're going to be instead doing a bit of a ranking of GBACE games that we've already played. So, should be an interesting experience, to be sure. I don't know if I'd call it a grocery list, though, Cass. But, you know, at the very least, we're going to just kind of, reminisce a little bit as we've made it through 50 games of this series so far. And just kind of, have some fun with that, I guess. But that's not the only thing we're going to be doing today. I don't know how long this process will take. We may not even finish it today. I'm honestly not sure at this point. We're just going to see how far we can get and see what we can do. And we'll pretty much take it from there. But around 4 p.m., I am going to switch things over to the Sunday Jigsaw, which, I've been trying to do every 3 weeks or so. I do have a picture ready. Just need to upload it when we get ready for that part of the stream. So that should still be happening today regardless. So, definitely stick around if you want to be a part of that action. But for the most part, the main focus will be on getting this tier list stream started. As far as my schedule for the next week, I do want to point out that I will be playing Pokemon Violet again this week. To start working on the DLC. So that will happen on Tuesday and on Friday. Both streams will start at 1, not 2 p.m. So the streams will be a little earlier than they have been. But that's just because, again, it is an RPG and I would just want to make as much progress as I can on the DLC as we go through it. So that's pretty much my plan of attack for the weekday streams here on Twitch. Of course, on Wednesday is my Wednesday YouTube stream, and I'll be doing more of the Warrior Wednesday Dynasty Warriors 3 playthrough. We'll be working on some of the free mode, not story mode stuff this time, because we're technically done with the story modes for the base game of that series, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, that'll be on my YouTube channel at around noon on Wednesday. So come by if you want to check that out. Then looking forward to next weekend. So Saturday is going to be likely my GBACE day for the next week. I made this announcement yesterday, but I think on Saturday I'm not going to be continuing on with Sports Illustrated for Kids Baseball, at least to start. I'm going to actually start with the next game that we have, which is Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. I'm going to try to start and play through that game. It shouldn't take too long, but, don't know for 100% certainty. At the very least, we're going to get started. So we'll be doing that next Saturday. It's just kind of a little break as we're kind of getting close to the halfway point of the baseball game. But after we finish Jimmy Neutron, we're going to jump right back into that, and I'm probably just going to see it to its completion after that because... even though we do have quite a number of games left to play, we at least have an idea for how long the game is now. So, at the very least, we can, keep pushing through to the end as we play more of that. And that way, I can get done with that game before we start Shining Soul, which is, I expect going to be like kind of RPG-like in nature. So, I want to make sure that we're dedicating just time to that as opposed to switching between like two very lengthy games. So Shining Soul is the next GBA game we'll work on after the first two, Jimmy Neutron and the baseball game. So yeah, that should be fun. And as far as the Sunday stream for next week, could be a randomizer that leads into GBACE, could be just GBACE. Haven't really decided yet. It'll be one of those two things. And then the Sunday afterwards will probably be another Dynasty Warriors Sunday. Or Saturday or whatever I decide to do with that. But yeah, that's pretty much my schedule. So I'm going to go ahead and get things started here. GBACE. It's going to be quite a large undertaking for this channel. There's a lot of elements and a lot of pieces for it. So let's add another element to it. I know that seems crazy, but in a way I think this will be helpful. I think this could be a way to kind of reformat my ranking system or my rating system again to make it more sensible, because I definitely get a lot of questions about that. And I just want to have something that, kind of makes sense and gets the, the general feel for how I feel about the games that we play for this series. But we have played 50 games so far. Pretty significant milestone. I don't think I even own that many GBA games to even begin with, so that's definitely something. We've played a lot of good games. We've played a lot of not so good games. We've had a lot of laughs. We've cried a lot at very, very certain experiences. But overall, it's been a really fun challenge, and we've played over 350 hours for this series, which is pretty incredible as it is. And I look forward to seeing the future of this. But before we look too deep into the future, we're going to re-examine the past yet again. And we're just going to, just kind of talk about the games. We're not going to talk too long about them. Obviously, we'll have the summary videos for that. And then, of course, just, the playthroughs in general. But, we'll see if we can kind of break them down into tiers, so to speak. So let me go ahead and switch things on over here to, I believe this is the window we want. Yep, it is. And I am going to be playing some music for this stream as well, so let me go ahead and get that started. I think another thing I'm going to do is, and if someone wants to help me with this as we go along, because I have very limited screen space, what with only having one monitor and everything, I would also like to figure out, basically, there's two things, well, I guess technically three things I want to figure out. But for each game, I want to actually get it on record, where I have the developer for each game, the publisher for each game, and also just kind of for fun, the Metacritic score, if it's possible to be found, because I don't know how easily accessible that information is. But yeah, I want to make sure I get that information as I go along, just because it might just be fun to kind of document along the way. So let me do this really quick. I'm going to make a new sheet. I'll put it at the end here. Why the hell did I do that? I pasted like a giant list into the tab name instead of the actual spreadsheet here. Okay, so I'm going to put this. Back to the Past, where some of the games, yeah, some of the games sucked ass. Also, Pet Resort should be its own tier, the Moritz tier, if you will. Yes. I get where you're going with that, Mars. I'll think about it. I'll think about it at least. I'll just make this game statistics. Metacritic. Score. Okay. Let me start the music and then we can get this going. I just realized I had a Twitch stream going. Should probably close that. And I'm just going to play like just a video that's just random GBA music. There'll be songs that we've heard of from this series, but definitely a bunch of songs we haven't either, so... That's not too loud or obnoxious, is it? Okay. Just let me know if I need to make any changes to it, obviously. Okay, well let's get this going. Let me I'm trying to organize. God, I really need to get a second monitor. Like, I mean, I have one. I just don't have room to set it up right now. I need to get that maybe figured out before I do another one of these, because just working with just one screen for something like this is very, very inefficient. Okay, so, looking at this list, the first game that we have is the very first game we played. They're all not going to be in this order. I think I'm just going to go through, like, how it's listed here, because that could be more fun, not doing it in the same exact order. So we'll definitely be jumping around a bit. So yeah, first game we have is Super Mario Advance. Has the releases on here too. Maybe I should put the releases as well. This is June 10th. Might just be good to have this information here. So this was 6/10, 2001. Developer and publisher, Nintendo. So a double Nintendo. Okay, Metacritic scores here too. This was an 84. Not to be confused with Double Fine. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I should probably also do this, just to kind of give an idea of what each of these tiers will represent, basically. S tier is going to be, like, what I consider the best absolute, like, experiences that just really made this series what it was, that I really enjoyed. Games I thought were really good. And, just, you know, things of that nature, essentially. A is going to be just, great. These games were great. They're definitely games that should be playable. Like, you know, if you play this... if there's a game you want to play on the GBA, this is a game you should definitely experience to some degree. It's that great. B are games that I thought were, you know, generally good. They were fun. Would play them again if I was forced to play them. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I wouldn't say they really, you know, stood out in any one major way. Just that they were just, you know, overall they were good and fine games. C would be okay. Basically, these games are... I don't have a big problem with these games. I don't really feel strongly negatively or positively about them. Kind of just right in the middle. Nothing really, you know, that really stands out, but, you know, doesn't, you know, stand out for being bad either. D tier, basically below average. Games that really needed some work, but, you know, there was some potential with them. You know, games I wish would have met that potential a little more. But, for the most part, like, you know, they're on the system, so they've been made. Not much you can really do about it. And then we'll add one more tier. I'll make it green. No, not this. You're fine. There we go. Okay, and then this will be F. Do not play. These are games that are just that bad. Games that, like, just I did not enjoy whatsoever. Games I would be very thankful to never play again, pretty much. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I'll basically be categorizing these for the most part. Trash, yeah. I'll put that too. Do not play. Trash. That works. Wish I could see, like, all of the games here, but unfortunately there's, like, an ad that's, like, blocking the bottom part of this. But that's okay. Well, once we get through, like, the first couple, like, we'll have them all in one line, so it's all good. But yeah, as I was saying, let's go ahead and start with Super Mario Advance. Super Mario Advance, no matter what, it's going to go either an A or S. I mean, it's a really good game. I thought it was a great intro to the Game Boy Advance, not just in terms of this series, GBACE, but also just for the console in general. I mean, it took, it took one of the classic Mario NES games. It kind of added some new features to it, made it more friendly on a portable system and everything. I think Mario Bros. 2, I think, is honestly, like, very underrated as it is. It actually introduces a lot of staples to the Mario series. And, like, you know, it's got Birdo, it's got Shy Guys, Pokies, Bob-ombs. A lot of great characters introduced. It's introduced Peach's ability to float, Luigi's kind of kicky jump. you know, it has a lot going for it. I wouldn't say it's the greatest of the, you know, 2D Mario platformers, but, you know, it's definitely a great one. So, because of that, you know, I don't quite feel like it's enough to put it in S tier, but I think A tier is more than good enough. It's a solid experience. I had fun playing through it again. Even though I don't really recommend getting 100% with the Yoshi Egg post-game, it was still fun to do it, and still fun to try it out. Has the Mario Bros. Arcade game as well, so yeah. Also, speaking of music's actually playing from this game now. Let me I'll increase the volume a little bit. Let me do that really quick. So yeah, yeah, very good timing. Yeah, I think A tier is a good place for this game, honestly. So we'll leave it in A tier. Okay, next up we have is here. Let me do this. I'm gonna add one more row. We're gonna call this the current discussion. And I'll make it blue. So next up we have Monsters, Inc. Now I know this is the second game we played, but it's not in order, trust me. I see some stuff that we played recently, like, coming up, so... yeah, it's just... I don't know why it chose this order, it just did. But, yeah, that's it. Okay, so Monsters, Inc., let's see. Thankfully it looks like GameFAQs will be a great site to use for this. Although it doesn't have the Metacritic score on this one. That's okay. Okay, so Monsters, Inc. Developer is Natsume, publisher THQ. No MC score. October 25th. So if anyone can find, like, another page where I can get open critic scores for games, let me know. But, like, GameFAQs shows some of them, but it doesn't show all of them. Okay, Monsters, Inc. I wouldn't say below average. I think it definitely at least meets the okay bar, and I think it honestly might kind of stay there. It's either going to be B or C. I'm kind of leaning more towards C. I felt like it had a lot of potential, but I don't think it really utilized it a whole bunch. But it didn't necessarily fail on anything either. It was a very basic licensed game. You just kind of go around, like... what I thought was cool was the fact that, like, every time you play the game, you get, like, randomized layouts for, like, all the levels. So you'll never have, like, one adventure that's the exact same. And you have to kind of, like, navigate a bunch of rooms. And as you navigate rooms, you know, make progression through the level. And it was a really neat system. It just was very bare bones. It just did not have a lot going for it. And it got to the point where it just kind of felt like, you know, just rush through all the levels just to get the game done, basically. And I feel like if it, like, kind of spent a little more time on, you know, making that a little more unique, it could have, you know, actually done something really, really great with it. But since it didn't, I think C tier is probably where this one's gonna go. So yeah, I think Monsters, Inc. is probably gonna stay here in the C tier. But, you know, kind of a C plus maybe. Didn't hate playing it, so yeah, that's something. Okay, this one will be interesting because we have Mortal Kombat Advance. So let's Mortal Kombat Advance. Oh God. I just saw, let's just say I saw the Metacritic score for this game. MC has 3 reviews, TOW being 50 and 70 being the other, so... Oh, 2 being 50. Average of 60. I guess I could do that, but, like, I'll put an asterisk on it, but let me know that that's not official. But, okay, yeah, Mortal Kombat Advance. We got Virtuecraft Midway, and December 12th. Metacritic score, though, is 33, so it did not score very well. Okay, so I'm gonna put a 60 and then an asterisk for Monsters Inc. right now. If we can find some more detailed information, we'll change it, I guess. Okay, so Mortal Kombat Advance. This game was, it wasn't good. I'm already not a big fan of fighting games, and it just wasn't good. I mean, that's all I have to really say about it. I think the biggest problem is just that it was just very badly translated for the Game Boy Advance, to the point where, like, it's so hard to even, like, feel the impact of your attacks. And it just wasn't good. And that's all I have to really say about it, honestly. It just wasn't good at all. Thankfully, I did find some cheese with the game, so it wasn't too bad to complete. But, I don't know. Like, I don't think that should excuse it from being, like, in D tier and not F tier. I think it still, honestly, belongs in the trash tier. Like, I would not recommend this game. Like... If I have to, like, recommend something for this game, if, like, people have to play it for any reason, I'll, like, say, hey, if you want to get out of this game quickly, just do this. Like, that's really all there is to it, honestly. So, yeah, I think Matt McMuscles even did a vid on it for worst fighting game series. Yeah, and I actually referenced that video in the summary video, too, so... You know, it's regarded as, like, the worst fighting game, so, I mean, why would I recommend it? So, yeah, I think that's exactly where it belongs. Okay, next up, if I can grab it, there we go. Looks like it's Nicktoons Unite, which is... It's interesting how they still have, like, some of the games in order. We'll have to do frickin' Dave Mira after this, which is much later on, but... Okay. Nicktoons Unite for Game Boy Advance. This is another one that does not have any rating or Metacritic ratings, so... we got Climax Studios, THQ, and October 27th. Climax Studios. Another THQ. October 27th. 2005. Okay. So, Nicktoons Unite, I think it's kind of in that same camp as Monsters Inc., honestly. I think overall, I did enjoy playing it more than Monsters Inc., but I don't know if I could really call it, like, a good game either still. I think the main problem with it is, like, while the concept was interesting and I like the idea of playing between, like, different Nicktoon characters, the issue with it is that it was kind of clunky. It made me kind of wish that I'd be playing, like, a console version instead. Switching between characters was tedious, because if you didn't, you know, have the right character with you, you had to kind of go back to, like, a tag barrel to switch, and that just kind of broke up pacing a little bit. I mean, at least with DK64, I mean, I think the tag barrels are located fine, but, like, here it was definitely more inconsistent and inconvenient. The game was also, you just, like, couldn't lose in the game. You took a death and you just, like, started, like, a few steps away from where you were. So it wasn't, like even in boss fights, if you died, it's like you just got right back up. So it's like there was no challenge to it. So it just kind of was just, overall, just very mid, I guess you could say. But the fact that I had, like, you know, some characters that, you know, I kind of grew up with, being such a Nickelodeon guy, there was definitely some nostalgia there. But, you know, I wouldn't say it was an incredible game. I wouldn't say it was a good game. I wouldn't say it was a bad game. Just kind of right in the middle there. So, that was Nicktoons Unite. Now, this will be very interesting to grade. We have Dave Mira, Freestyle BMX 2. Wow, this one got an 81 on Metacritic. We have Full Fat Acclaim in November 20th. Full Fat Acclaim. Full Fat Acclaim. Did I say it got 81? I'm actually even surprised it has a score, if I'm being honest. Okay, November 20th. Also another 2001 game, too. Okay, so here's the thing. Even though I had my issues with Dave Mira, I don't think it was a trash game. I don't. I thought it was fine. My main issue with Dave Mira was just that, at least compared to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, which had its own difficulties, but like I feel like it just didn't have the same control as the Tony Hawk game. And some of the things just became like really, really hard to do after a while. To the point where it just kind of took a lot longer than I was kind of wanting it to. It definitely kind of overstayed its welcome a bit. But I think there were some things that I think it did better than Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 as well. So even though it was more jank, I think it had better ideas. It actually allowed you to progress through the game at like a more sensible pace. There wasn't a back of like, you know, just going from course to course to see if you could do stuff. Like you actually had kind of a progression going on throughout. So it just kind of made more sense in that, right? Honestly, and you know, I kind of appreciated that aspect of it. It just kind of made more sense overall, I think. So there's that. I don't know if I feel quite. This is a case where it's like I feel like this could be an either C or D, but I think this is more of a C minus as opposed to a D plus. Because I at least respected what it had going for it. I just wish it kind of controlled better. So definitely a game that's going to be kind of at the border for sure. So. Also music could be a smidge low. Okay, sure. Yeah, I can do that. Probably didn't help that it was Pokemon, because it was like... Pokemon's a lot, you know, louder overall, I think. But yeah, I think that was, I think that's generally how I feel about Dave Mirra. Okay, guys, next up we have Blades of Thunder. Blades of Thunder, how about this? This was the first trash tier game of the challenge that we played. The first game I gave a 1 to, just because it was boring. Let me see. Wow, it doesn't even have a Metacritic score. Why am I not surprised? Okay, Interactive Vision Games and Summit Soft Entertainments. Interactive Vision Games. Summit Soft Entertainment. If this tells you anything, I have no idea what these companies even are, so... This was February 1st, 2005. Okay, let's get to actual ranking this. This could actually be a hard one, because this game was very underwhelming. It's going below C no matter what. I could honestly see it in either D or F though. I mean, I gave it a 1 out of 5 when I played it. But that was also before like I saw like other 1s out of 5s. And I do feel like as I went on, there were definitely some games where I was like, yeah, Blades of Thunder was bad, but this game was definitely a lot worse. So I'd say this is a D- scenario, honestly. Because, I mean, at least the game was completable. At least the game made sense. There were some things that didn't work about it, and I think it could have had potential. It just didn't really... It was just so boring that it didn't utilize any of it, yeah. So yeah, I think D tier will probably work for this. Definitely kind of in the D- ranking, though. I don't think the game absolutely failed, but it was definitely just very, very underwhelming and not fun whatsoever. So, yeah, that's... Cheat Code Central summary is pretty good. Blades of Thunder reduces the thrills of chopper combat, so the delivering of crates of Kentucky Fried Chicken to remove Indian reserves in the Canadian wilderness. Oh my god, that's such a hilarious... Okay, yeah, that's Blades of Thunder. Okay, guys, this is a big one. Activision Anthology. The longest game, still, of the challenge. And even though we haven't completed the baseball game yet, I think it will still be the longest game of this challenge. Okay, it says the developer and publisher is Aspire for both of them. I feel like I could also put Activision for the publisher too, though. I mean, they did publish all these games. But let me focus on this. I'll put Aspire, then also Activision. And question marks next to it. Apparently got a 75 on Metacritic. and December 9th, 2003. Oh yeah, that is where you joined the hijinks, honestly. Yeah, I remember that's when you started watching. Okay, Activision Anthology was great. I really enjoyed Activision Anthology. It was long, but I played a lot of arcade games that I probably would have never played otherwise. I think it was definitely formatted in a very great way. And, you know, I like that it offered, like, a lot of challenges as well. It was a really good compilation. There were some games that were just, like, not optimized for it, I guess, which would be, like, I feel like the game's biggest downside. But really, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with this compilation, honestly. I think it just offered a lot of good stuff. And, because of which, you know, I am admittedly very tempted to put this in S. I think I'm leaning more towards an A+ scenario, though. So I think it does beat Mario Advance here, but, I don't know if it's quite there to get S. The S rank is just going to be for games that I think really, really deserve to be there. Like, I look at the game and I'm like, bam, that's an S, like, immediately. But, you know, A+ for sure. It was a great experience. A long experience, but it was a great one. Had some cool victories. Getting through the unknown prototype puzzle was a really well-earned victory. The struggle with Space Shuttle. So, A for Atari, A for Activision. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Well, we're going to keep on going with Peak. Not just because of the song that's playing, but because of the next game we have, Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure. This was another game I really enjoyed for the challenge. Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure. Another 75 on Metacritic. Dimps Corporation and then Atari SA. Release date June 6, 2006. Oh my god, 666? Did it really just... It did. It pulled the 666. The fact that Dave Mirra got a higher MC is criminal? Oh! Okay, that's what you're saying. Okay, yeah. Metacritic, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's very criminal, honestly. Okay, so Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure, I love playing this. This is honestly another case where it's like it's right in between here. It's like I could lean either or, honestly, to this game. Before I played this game, I didn't really have much experience with Dragon Ball at all. I mean, I'd watched some episodes with friends, and I enjoyed what I saw. Not enough to really get into it, but playing this game actually got me into it. It made me want to check out the series. It made me want to check out the anime. And I think that's really special, and I think it's a really good adaptation of the anime. I mean, there are some things they obviously, you know, skip through and don't show everything, but you know, you kind of have to do that for a game like this. And it had some really cool ideas too. I mean, I think making Dragon Ball like kind of a beat 'em up is perfect. The unlocking the extra mode, which could allow you to use like any character from like the series in like kind of a beat 'em up way, I thought was neat. Wasn't crazy about the unlock conditions, but you know, it was still a really cool idea. Having kind of a 2D fighter mode, I think, was just the biggest miss. But not necessarily because, like, it brought the game down, but just kind of felt unnecessary, I guess. That was, like, the one part of the game I wasn't really that crazy about, but I don't know if that brings it down enough to, like, say that, you know, I don't think it brings it down to the point where it, like, ruined the experience, because I clearly enjoyed myself while playing it. And let's be real, I think it's just a really, really solid game by itself, so I think, based on those factors alone, I think it just barely earns the S. I think it's kind of an S- situation because, you know, it wasn't flawless, but I think considering what it did do for me for the series personally, I think it does enough to earn it. I really do. So yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna put it. I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be the first S of this. So yeah, let's go with that. Okay, gonna get into something kind of we did and finished recently, actually. We have Piglet's Big Game. Piglet's Big Game. I just realized there also might be some inconsistencies with Metacritic because it looks like it's keeping the same score across all, like, iterations, like every console or whatever. So it says 70 for all versions of this game, which I don't know if that's accurate, but we'll deal with it. Wow, this game actually released on my mom's birthday in 2003. Obviously, not my mom. My mom was born way longer ago than that. But developer Doki Denki. Doki Denki. Disney Corporation, or Disney Interactive. I got a 70 on Metacritic, and 2003. E for Eeyore. God, all the Eeyore jokes that I made during that. Okay, Piglet's Big Game. I'm going to go ahead and say I don't think the game was below average. I think it's going to be a case of it being a C, I think. It was okay. I think it works as like a kid's game, a very intro to gaming kids game. I wouldn't say it did anything really that groundbreaking, though. It was basically just walk around and complete mini fetch quests, and that's really about it. So, I can't see it going any higher than C, but I don't think it did enough to get below average. It was just kind of there, I guess. As far as the rest of the games, do I think it was better than Dave Mirra? I don't think it was better than Dave Mirra. Not that Dave Mirra was, like, excellent or anything, it's just... I don't know, I felt like there was at least more variety going on there. It wasn't, like, boring back and forth side questing like I felt like some of the parts of Piglet's was. Piglet also crashed. While Dave Mirra somehow didn't, even though I was warned that it could crash. So I think, yeah, I think at the end of C tier is probably where Piglet's going to be, at least for right now anyway. Maybe I'll feel differently, but at least that's going to be... I feel like C is where it belongs, at the very least, so it's at least in the right location. Okay, next up we have Duke Nukem Advance, one of the 2 FPSs we played. Taurus Take-Two. It's got an 81 on Metacritic. Taurus Games, Take-Two Interactive. August 12th, 2002. S rank as in it sucks. Wow, Rangra. Okay. Duke Nukem. I don't think it was a bad or below average game. Can at least put it in here for right now. I'm debating whether or not to put it up to the next tier, though. Because overall, I definitely had more positive experiences than negative for this one. The ending was rough, it was hard, but like I felt like through the majority of like the beginning part, I was having fun with it. I thought it was a really, really fun game in that respect. So I think this is going to be the first B tier that we have. The Group of Jenny. The Group of Jennies was pretty hilarious. Definitely got overwhelming, but also, like, I'm not really super great with, like, FPS games anyway. So that could be just more of that, me struggling with that aspect of it. And the fact that I'd never played a Doom-like game before either, so that also didn't really help. So... yeah, I think B is a good place for it. It was more positive than negative. It wasn't great, but it was good. It was a good game. Oh boy. It's kind of a shame that Harsh isn't here for this one, because I know Harsh has a lot to say about this one. Star Wars Jedi Power Battles, which actually came out on... or I don't know if it's out now, but like there's like there was like a trial for it on Switch not too long ago. Okay. Hot Gen THQ. December 4th, another very early game. We actually have gotten a lot of, like, first-year games, I've noticed. I see a number of 2001s here. The one game you wish you were there live. Fair. Okay. Here's the thing about Jedi Power Battles. I do think it belongs in either D or F, honestly. I'm tempted to say D, though. Just because, like, there are some things that... Fall damage is stupid. That's all I'm gonna say. Fall damage is stupid. The jumping perspectives were just not handled well. I think it had potential, it just... was just not much of a game. Just not a lot I really not a lot I really vibe with. The one good thing, the one amazing thing about this game, I don't think I even need to say what it is, because I'm sure all of you are probably just, like, getting ready to post it right now. But, the game over screen is high tier, for sure. But, I can't excuse the rest of the game. It was a better experience than it was a game, we'll say that much, but... as a game, I am gonna have to put it in D tier, I think. Return of Darth Maul, yeah. Just the fact that it pulls that game over screen, like, after the credits is just hilarious. It's the most hilarious thing about the whole experience. But yeah, I think it was better. I'll say it was better than Blades of Thunder, but... that's like saying that eating old cheese, but, you know, just before it gets molded or whatever is better than molded cheese or something. I don't know. Maybe not the best analogy, but I think you get what I'm going with. Okay, this will be an interesting one to rank. We got Tetris Worlds, the most recent summary video I've made as of this stream. Tetris Worlds, GBA, GameFAQs. Wow, this is surprisingly low. I think this is another case where I think I enjoyed this more than people enjoyed it. Okay, so this is 3D6 games. Also another THQ game. Actually got a 65 on Metacritic. And this was September 5th, 2001 again. Okay, so... honestly, I enjoyed Tetris Worlds. I love Tetris as it is, and I like how it has, like, you know, even different forms of Tetris. I thought it did a great way of showcasing those different forms of Tetris to you too. And, you know, I just think Tetris is fun. Maybe it's a case where you just can't really do much wrong with Tetris, so, you know, maybe that's kind of what people are thinking out in regards to this. But, yeah, I had fun with it. So I'm thinking either B+ or A-. I guess I'm leaning more towards A- personally, so bottom here. But, I mean, yeah, I had fun with it. I guess the problem with the GBA version is that, you know, if you want to play Tetris Worlds, it's probably better to play the console version anyway. Because there's just more going with the console version. So I guess that's like the one thing. Kind of in the same vein as Doom when you think about it. Where it's like, yeah, I thought Doom GBA was fine. Although you'd probably want to play the console version over it or something. So kind of in that same vein, I guess. Yeah, that was Tetris Worlds. Okay, the most recent game we've completed for GBACE. We have Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. Kryptonite Games and Activision. Kryptonite Games, Activision. Actually gets a 72 on Metacritic. November 10th, 2004. The name sounds awfully familiar. Wasn't there a movie? Yeah, there was a movie. This game was actually based off the movie adaptation of these books. And it starred Jim Carrey as basically the antagonist. This game was cool. Another case where it's like I experienced more positives than negatives. So I think I am going to put it at least in B. I might keep it here in B, though. Because while I thought it was a fun experience, it definitely had a lot of jank to it that I think could have been fixed. It kind of had that old, like, classic adventure game feel to it, which I thought was neat. Kind of going around, finding items and objects, trading them with other NPCs to get other items and objects. The platforming was definitely awkward and jank is cool. Or, awkward and not cool. I don't know why I said cool. Maybe I meant to say cruel. I don't know. But, and you got the floating paraglider move way too late in the game. That definitely, I think, held it back a bit. But I thought it was fun. I thought it was still fun. I think I will put this slightly ahead of Duke Nukem, though. So I'll put it on the higher end of the B games so far. Yeah, it gave us Sunny and her words of wisdom like Runco and Lactoglub, I think was the other one. Which, I still owe you a Lactoglub raid message, Mars. I haven't forgotten. We'll use it at some point. We'll definitely use it at some point. But yeah, I'd say it's fine here. Okay, next up, I believe this is the first Kong game that we played. So this is Kong the Animated Series. Nope, I'm sticking to my word. There will be Lactoglub at some point. I just need to find the right person to raid with it, I think. Planet Interactive and BAM Entertainment. Hey, 52 Metacritic on August 20th. They actually almost have all the first 10 games on the list already. And we'll actually get them done soon, too, according to this. There probably is. I'm sure there is. I don't see why there wouldn't be. Okay. Kong, the animated series. Another case of either C or D. Definitely leaning more towards D. Probably even the higher end of it. The game had some interesting ideas. It executed them terribly, though. Wouldn't say it was trash, but it wasn't great by any stretch. It was just underwhelming. It was an underwhelming experience, and there was one level that I think took like a third of the... Which, I mean, I guess is kind of true for the other Kong game we played, too. Off-screen death pits, tedious bosses, yeah. Yeah, I'll say that's probably where that's going to end up. Didn't really do a lot for me, I guess we can say at the end of the day. Okay, next up we have Top Gear GT Championship. Did we actually play this? Yeah, we did. Definitely one of those games where it's like, this was a game we played? Wow, actually there's no Metacritic for this either. Yeah, the waifu. Which, did we win the waifu? I don't know. VisionWorks and Kemco. Oh yeah, this was almost a release title. I think it was a release title in other parts of the world, but not for America. July 9th. Came out within the first month at the very least. So yeah, this was a racing game. It was better than the other racing game that we had played at that point, which was coming up on this discussion at some point soon. I can't say it was good. I don't know if I could say it was below average, though. I remember really hating, like, the penalty system that the game had. But, I mean, it wasn't too hard. It's basically just 6 races. I guess there's not a lot of variety to it. Honestly, I might keep it here. I am honestly feeling that at least Piglet and Dave Mirra were better games than this. But I don't feel like it quite deserves to be a D tier. So I think that's where it's gonna end up being. Oh boy, I just looked at the next 2 games that we have to look at. Those will be very fun discussions. A double whammy for sure. Okay, let's get Robopon out of the way. Red Entertainment, Atlas, June 11th. Funnily enough, it got a 68 on Metacritic. I kind of expected it to be higher than that, but... Okay, June 11th, 2002. RoboPrey. Oh my god. Robopon, only one of 2 games I dipped out early for. Okay. Robopon 2 cross version. If you watched my ending stream for this game, or my ending streams for this game, and maybe even my summary video to an extent, you'd probably think that this would be another below average. But I have come around the game a little bit, which I think does push it at least up to C tier. I don't think I can put it further up though. I think C tier is where this one's gonna stay. But I mean, you know, Robopon looked at as like kind of the Pokemon knockoff, I guess. I think it does its own thing, and I think there's a lot of really cool aspects of the game. I think it's cool, honestly, to raise like all the different monsters to find something that like would be fun to use. But there were some really bad lows for it, that's for sure. Also, hey Odin. I'm gonna try zooming in a little bit, actually. As we're getting... Now we can't see what's coming up, though. Here, let me... Oh, hey, Silver as well. Okay. But yeah, I mean, Robopon had a lot of potential, had some good highs, had some bad lows. I think it meets the middle of the mark at the very least. Well, we'll see how Ring version goes when we get around to it. I feel like that might help me a bit now that I know what to expect from the game. But for like this particular challenge, it's a hard game to really nail down your overall feelings with it, because obviously, you know, I want to try to complete these games as quickly as I can. But, you know, if I spend as much time as I would a game like this, then, you know, it'd be super long and never end, and I didn't want to experiment with, like, every single Robopon I got, so... That is how I feel about Robopon 2. So let's get to a game that we also probably know how I feel about it. We have Paws and Claws Pet Resort. Independent Arts, THQ. It's got no rating, by the way. Probably so low that wouldn't have made it. Okay, February 13th. Oh yeah, Odin? Well, you rule. There you go. Yeah, this game sucks. This is basically the game I use to say that, like, this is the bottom of the barrel, at least right now. It's not a great game. It's not even close to a great game. It's boring as hell. Takes way too long to get through. So much of it is broken. Broken to the point where it's not even completable in the North American version. It's a really, really bad game. I'm ashamed. Thanks a lot, Wolf Kaminari, by the way. It's a game that I feel like shame that I actually own a copy of now because Wolf Kaminari gifted me a copy that he found. So I kind of have to, like, you know. I mean, at least I have it. It's, you know, it's always going to be a discussion piece, I guess. So that's something, I guess. I will say though, even though it was easily the worst GBA game I've ever played, the streams were actually not too bad. And you know, I say this every single time, so much that they're probably like just grinning with smugness over there. But Mars really helped make those streams very enjoyable. Just, I don't know. They helped keep me sane during that whole stream series of that. That really, really helped. So, that's the only positive I can say about Pet Resort, honestly. Okay, not smug. Yeah, I'll give you that. But, you know. Very appreciative. You're awesome. I'm glad that you've been around for this series overall. Trying to be humble about it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I think this is probably gonna stay here, honestly. I honestly don't think there's any other games that'll really even come close to that, honestly, but we'll see. Okay, Doom for the GBA. Okay, I feel like this Metacritic is just for the game overall, not this particular version. Because it has an 82 for Metacritic, and I feel like... I don't feel like the GBA version would have gotten that. But, David A. Palmer Productions. And obviously... Oh, yeah. Publisher was Activision. Odin, if you actually have an idea about this, since you know this stuff better than I do, like, if you know a good place where I can find Metacritic scores for, like, games, for Game Boy Advance games, that would be nice information to have if you know a place where I could readily find that stuff. I'm using GameFAQs right now, but, like, I think it just picks a random, like, whatever the first version of a game that released is. I don't see Doom GBA getting an 82. But I don't know, maybe name recognition as well. This was October 28th. Okay, Doom. I had fun with this. This was my first time beating Doom. I thought it was really enjoyable. I thought for the GBA it worked. It obviously got rid of a lot of... It got rid of like a lot of like levels and stuff to make it work. And they had to kind of recompile some levels differently. And, you know, it honestly, like, it was very, very sluggish, but I feel like in a way that sluggishness helped the game. Because, you know, it's a first-person shooter, they're very action-heavy, and I almost kind of preferred the way this controlled over Duke Nukem, if I'm being honest. So... Oh, okay, well, it's getting high scores, so... Maybe 82 is what it deserves, I don't know. Wow! How appropriate considering the next game we have for those. But for Doom, I'm gonna put it in A tier. I had a lot of fun with it. I think I will put it ahead of Tetris Worlds just because I at least had played Tetris Worlds, the console versions, before. So maybe it's not a great comparison, but no, I thought it was fun. Whatever, it shouldn't be a big deal. I'm not really too worried about copyright for this video. This is more of a casual video anyway. So yeah, I'll put Doom here. I think Doom belongs right here, I think. Okay, let's move on to the game where this music is currently from. We have Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Hold on. My god, I just looked it up and yeah, oh my god, Sports Illustrated Baseball does have a 39 right now. Chain of Memories, Game Facts, 2K. 76? Really? Jupiter Corporation, Square Enix. I think I said December 7th. Yeah, November 7th, 2004. Okay, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. I really enjoyed this playthrough. I had a lot of fun with it. First time I got to play this game. I do like the Kingdom Hearts series, so it was great to finally play this in all of its glory. It wasn't a perfect experience. It's kind of hard with RPGs and doing a challenge like this, because, like, you know, you want to get through the games as quickly as you can so you can, you know, continue on. But, you know, with RPGs, you know, it's like you want to kind of grind, you want to get better items and stuff of that nature. I guess there wasn't really as much of a case of that with this game, though. It didn't have like a lot of side quests or anything. It was just play through the levels and just get stronger, really. Get cards, crayon drops and stuff. Technically first card game. Yeah, fair. I think this is a case where I'm going to give this an A+. I don't think it's quite S rank, but I think it's slightly closer to S than Activision. But it was still a really, really great game. I really enjoyed playing Chain of Memories. So yeah, that was that one. At some point I will come back and play the Riku story mode, which that'll be fun, I'm sure. But yeah, I think that's where that one is going to go. Okay, next up we have Column's Crown. I believe this is Sega and then THQ. Oh wait, no, developers WoW Entertainment. I mean, Columns used to be Sega, but yeah. And also THQ. I got a 70 Metacritic. February 4th. I'm guessing this is a Yu-Gi-Oh track, if I had to guess. We'll probably hear this at some point. Yeah, it really has been, honestly. Okay, Column's Crown. This is a case where it's either going to be a B or C, I think. I think I'm leaning slightly, the biggest slightly, towards B. Because it was kind of refreshing to have a puzzle game, but like, is that really because of the game, or just the fact that we hadn't really had a puzzle game yet? That's the thing. And I mean, it is Columns. I mean, I suppose for Columns, it's good. But I mean, it's also Columns. The most B- you've ever seen. Yeah, okay, I'm glad we're kind of in agreement with that. So yeah, I think B- is where that is. It had some cool ideas. Like, I enjoyed the kind of like puzzle mode or whatever it was called. Also had some lore. Couldn't 100% the game, though, without a second player, which was kind of dumb, but, it is what it is. Okay, I think this is the last game of the first 10 we have to put in the tier list. This did not get a good score. Pronto Games and Infogrames. Games, Infogrames. 57. October 30th. 2004, is what it said? No, 2002. Oh, you better hope you have a good recovery, Litton. Okay. I'll say this now. If it wasn't for Odin, this would have been a really rough game to get through. It's not trash. It's either probably C or D. I'm kind of leaning more towards C because I did kind of at least have a little bit of an appreciation for it after I realized how it worked. But it really, really needed... like, better tutorials or just better information available for it. Because I could just see a lot of people getting lost in this completely. And I do like RPGs, so, like, I mean, and tactics battlers and stuff, so that kind of helped me enjoy this a bit more. But for anyone else who doesn't, this will be a rough one to get through, so... I'm going to say bottom of C, at least for right now. I'm going to go C- on this. It's a hard one to rank, for sure. It's a hard one. Okay, let's bring up the next one. Need for Speed Underground. Yeah, this is one that this can't be. Like, I cannot see how this... It has an 85 on Metacritic. And, like, that's definitely from the console version. Okay, hold on. I think I did find something here. I can... okay, there's a better place where you can look at the rankings for the console-specific ones. Apparently it's 77, though, which is still, I think, way too high for this one. Okay. Also, hey, Reindeer Yoshi. Pocket Tears. EA Games. And we got December 17th. 2003. So I'll have to go back through some of these to get some of the other ones. I'm sure Dave Mirra is probably lower. Okay, it's no secret, I mentioned this when I played this, I was very disappointed with Need for Speed Underground. I did not enjoy it. I was really disappointed that it was nothing like the console versions, which I did actually really enjoy. But this version just was not great. Honestly, like... Here's the thing, I'm almost tempted in putting it in F more than D, if I'm being honest, but... Because, like, it's just... I don't think it played well. Even when I got a sense of how to do certain things, like, I hated the system that it had. I just did not like what this game had going for it. And I think it's a shame because, like, again, it just feels so much different on the consoles, too. So, honestly, yeah, I think this is really that... I think it's really that bad, honestly. I mean, Blades of Thunder was underwhelming, but at least it only took, like, 2.5 hours to get through. This took, like... How long did it take me again? Like... 9 hours or something? 8 hours, but still. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. F+. You can look at this as an F+. I just can't recommend it. I really can't. Let's talk about games I can recommend, though. Oh, this is shameful. August 1st, 2006. So the Metacritic for this game was 56, by the way. I do not think it deserves that. I think it deserves way higher than that. Oh, you notice what game's next? Yeah, it's certainly there, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Barnyard was honestly one of the biggest surprises of this series so far. I thought it was going to be like just a, another licensed game, but it really, really surpassed my expectations. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a really unique game. Like, it had a really unique premise to it. It covered the events of the movie, but it didn't hold itself to the movie either. And I think that's what made it so enjoyable. Kind of had had a Sims feel to it, but it had mini games to it, and it was an interesting game. We played as a cow Sona, yeah. There was just a lot here that, like, you wouldn't have expected, honestly. And here's Kingslayer's saying that at least C or B. I agree, at least, but I honestly kind of want to put this in A. Like, I thought it was that good. Like, I thought it was a great game. Maybe it just matched perfectly with, like, what I like with, like, these types of games. Yeah, I get you, Kingslayer. I'm just saying. I mean, definitely not an S for sure, but, like, it's up there. Well, keep in mind, Harsh, it's about the games themselves, not the experience of the games. I didn't enjoy playing the game. I enjoyed the memes that came from it, but the game itself. Well, see, I don't even know if I want to put this here though. Like, I mean, at least with Doom and Tetris Worlds, like, I could see that being either A- or B+. Here, I at least want to give this an A, so if anything, I'd say it's probably here. Yeah, exactly, Harsh. I'm glad you understand. You know what? I'm gonna make one more probably controversial decision. Just because it was that much of a surprise for me. That's the thing. So I'm actually putting it ahead of the Super. Not by much. I'd say they're probably about in the same place here. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Okay, guys, let's raise some horses now. We got Let's Ride, Sunshine Stables. October 4th. I need to look at one thing really quick. Okay, yeah. We're good. Had the wrong date for Pause and Clause. Just want to fix it. Okay, Let's Ride Sunshine Stables. Didn't really care for this game, but, and this is something everyone asked me throughout the entire freaking playthrough, hey Slim, what's worse, this or Pet Resort? I do think it's better than Pet Resort. I do. I feel like there's a lot more to do here. I wouldn't say I really enjoyed what you could do here. Like, it's still a bunch of tedious, busy work, but it at least felt like there was, like, something to aim for. Which I think definitely helped it be better than Pet Resort. But it was still not a super great experience. It was definitely flawed in a lot of respects. We basically beat the challenge, or beat the game for the challenge using a glitch to begin with, so, you know, there's not really a lot we can say. The only way to lose to Pet Resort is just to barely be a game, and even then, this was literally just like it was like an old school, like, kids computer game, where you just go through windows, that's all it was. There's very little gameplay involved. So, yeah, I'll say, yeah, do not play this trash, yeah, I'll keep it there. Better than Pet Resort, but I really hope it's not. I really hope horse games aren't going to be the only games down here in this tier. Yeah, the horse that breaks the economy. We got 2 horses that broke the economy too, which was interesting. Okay, let's move on. Crazy Taxi, Catch a Ride. I think this is just exclusively a GBA game. It is. Whoa, this might be... I don't think it's the absolute lowest, but this is a very low Metacritic score. Okay, Graphic State and THQ. Another THQ game. This got a 48, by the way. Lowest we've had is Mortal Kombat Advance, if that tells you anything. This is April 9th, 2003. Okay, Crazy Taxi, Catch a Ride, it was okay. Very, very, very okay. I'm trying to think if I deserves to move up or not, honestly. Like, move it up in this tier, not to B, but move it somewhere around here anyway. Honestly, no. I think here is fine. I didn't like the way it controlled. It feels like they could have like done the reverse controls a bit differently. It was pretty jank. So I think C minus D plus is kind of where it belongs. City 2 was really badly planned. It didn't have a radar or map, which why? Didn't we determine, didn't Smashing Drive, didn't that have a map? And it's just like, wow, this game had a map, but not this one? Yo, cool, Swordmaster. I hope you enjoyed the game. I stand by the console version of Tetris Worlds. I think it's really good. Yeah, I think Smashing Drive did have a map, which is interesting because this game didn't have a map. And this one probably needed it more. Yeah. Very, very, very mid. Very mid game. Leaning more towards the kind of side, but I'll keep it in C at least. Okay, guys, don't get too scared because we got Berenstein Bears. We got bears. Spooked solid. No Metacritic. Program Ace and Namco. September 20th, 2005. The Bloodstained Bear. Oh god. Let's not go that far. Okay, honestly, this game was another surprise for me. I wouldn't say it was as much of a surprise as Barnyard was, but I honestly thought it was a good game. I did. I think this belongs in the bear tier. I mean the B tier. It was fun for what it was. I enjoyed it. It kind of had like a Lost Vikings feel to it. Just, you know, obviously simplified a whole lot for kids. Probably to the point where, yeah, I think right here is where it's going to be. But, yeah, it was not a bad game. I honestly had fun with it. Very short, though. Very short game. Probably not one I'd play again unless it was, like, for retro achievements and I wanted some quick achievements or something. That's really the only reason I would play that, though. Just being real. Okay. Let's get back to rating more garbage. This game deserves a much lower score, and it's already not a great score. Crawfish Interactive, Disney Interactive. So the score for this is a 52. Just for those who want to know. And the date is 2/22/2002. so Peter Pan. This game was not good. Honestly, I'd honestly go as far as to say this was probably even an F tier game, if I'm being honest with you. It was just, it controlled really badly. It was very dull, very boring. It just was not exciting whatsoever. It just felt really, really bad. Yeah, at least the other games, like, the 3 games that are here, I could see there was, like, some potential with them. This did not have potential. I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. Peter Pan, yeah. I do think Need for Speed was probably a little better than it. I don't think it beats Mortal Kombat, though. Yeah, I think that's where it's going to be. Okay, the Muppets, on with the show. I can't believe Vicarious Visions developed this. Hold on, though. I think there's other versions of this. No, there's not. Hold on. It does say there's a PC version. It's not really rated, though. That's the thing. Based on that, I mean. Vicarious Visions, TDK Media Active. Media Active. This is a 65. March 18th. Okay, this is another case where I feel like I think this belongs in D tier. I mean, maybe high D tier. There's just not a lot in this game. So maybe around here, I guess. It's just a very, very quick minigame compilation. That's really all it is. There were like some funny animations and things that were laughable about it, but I wouldn't say it was a great game. It was just kind of there. Yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say, really. Oh man, we only have 15 minutes to the tier list. I don't know if I'm gonna get done with this. Or the puzzle, I mean. I feel like we still have a bit to go. Anyway, Fire Pro Wrestling. F tier if you go by just the box art, yeah. Not a great box art. So this is Vale and BAM Entertainment. This actually gets an 80 on Metacritic. And, okay, this is a release date game. That's right. Okay, guys, wrestling games. I don't care for wrestling or fighting games at all. This game did actually kind of change my tune a little bit. Because I did actually have fun with this, and I do think this is a really good game, especially if you love the genre. So, I think I'm going to put it here, actually, in B tier. Yeah, it's really surprising me. I think it's really cool that it has the amount of detail and depth that it does. It has, like, over 100 different wrestlers you can choose from. They're based off of real-life wrestlers under, like, funny names. The fighting, I think, is honestly pretty in-depth, too, but as Mars said in chat, it needed a tutorial badly. I have no idea why it didn't have one. It really needed one. Would have made the game so much better, I think, if it had one. Seriously. So, yeah. I think, Fire Pro Wrestling is pretty good. I look forward to playing the sequel because I'll have a tutorial to work with. I'll be able to figure out some things, and it could be an interesting experience. So I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, it's, you know, if I have to get a wrestling game, I hope it's that one and not like the other wrestling game we're gonna be playing soon. Yeah, that's basically my thoughts on that. Okay, SSX 3. Oh my god, oh, such a huge difference. Okay, so the SSX 3 for PS2 is a 93. It moves down to a 63 for GBA. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Okay, visual impact. This is EA Sports Big. I don't know why it's EA Sports Big, but okay, November 11th, 2003. Wait, November 11th is what I said? 11/11/03. Yo, Lynn joined the party. Hell yeah. Okay. SSX3. This was a game that, like, I started off kind of liking. Maybe kind of even feeling like it was B tier at first. But by the end, it got really, really brutal. And kind of eh. But I think for the most part of all the extreme sports games I played on this system, this was the one that I felt the most at ease with, I think. So, I think I am going to keep it in C tier at least. I think for the most part it's fine. It just needed to be severely shortened. Some of the events just took way too long to do. The fact you had to do basically 3 runs for each event was just annoying as hell. Doing the sick tricks, or whatever they were called, were just really awkward. So it could have been a little better in that right. So I'll put it just above Dave Mirra. Yeah, BSAI too, yeah. So I'll put it next to Dave Mirra, because I do think it was better than Dave Mirra, but I don't think it deserves to be beyond that, honestly. Oh boy, here we got this one. We got Strawberry Shortcake. Strawberry Mid Cake. Also, apparently there's a special edition of this game, but I don't think I have it on my thing. Also, yay, Mario Party Advance. Majesco. Also, no rating, by the way. Because, I mean, really, who would have played this? November 16th. This was made in 2004, by the way. Probably. Okay, as Mars is saying, this game was bad. This game was not good. Honestly, kind of even tempted to put it in F. It just doesn't really functionally work. Like, I mean, it works, but, like, it's just so brainless. It's like... I mean, at least... It's worse than Blades of Thunder. I just need to decide if it's, like, D- or F, honestly. You know what? No. I honestly think it was that terrible. I'm putting it here. I'm putting it right above the horse games. One GameFAQs reviewer gave it a 4. But no, I'm putting it right there. It felt, I felt nothing after playing it. That's the thing. I felt nothing for this game after playing it. Yeah, no, that's what I'm gonna go with. MKA had funny cheat. Yeah, that's true, it did. Okay, Matchbox Crosstown Heroes. I need to look at this. Where are we at in this video? Okay, when we get to the Advance Wars 2 ending, which I know kind of a spoiler, when we get to that, I need to pay attention because the video is about to end. And I don't want to switch to like a random video. Okay. Once again, no score for this one. Imagine engine. Hey, THQ. I think THQ is definitely the most common publisher we've gotten easily. AKA the game of conflicting art styles. This is from Yoshi Topsy Turvy. Or Yoshi's Universal Gravitation, as it's called. Okay. Matchbox Crosstown Heroes, it was okay. That's kind of where I am with it. It was very short, very nothing. Maybe like right here. I don't think I can put it... So there's at least substance between the two extreme sports games. I feel like I had a little more fun with it compared to this racing game. Yeah. I honestly don't have much to say about this one. It just kind of came and went. I mean, a lot of the like very short ones it did just kind of come and go without really thinking much of them. Okay, let's get Kong ready, guys. So why is this bright speed ad like in the way? Oh, maybe it wasn't in the way. No, whatever. Okay, Kong, King of Atlantis, the other Kong game. Well, didn't have a rating for it. No, not Donkey Kong, I wish. Skyworks Technologies, and then Majesco. Wow, Silver's really excited to talk about Kong, King of Atlantis. Must really love the game. Must be a #1 die-hard fan of the game. Can't be for anything else. This is October 25th. Okay, I honestly don't think I could ever... Okay, let's do this. Let's put these two Kong games together for now. Honestly, I do think animated series was better just because it had more variety and more things going on. King of Atlantis was very dull. There was just not a lot of substance to the game at all. It was basically a beat 'em up. You know, it had okay, like, mechanics. Although, the fighting was either, like, you ducked and avoided everything, or you had the case of that one long endurance level that was really hard for no reason, and it just kind of sucked. So I think animated series was the better Kong game. I don't think this belongs in F completely. But honestly, I think I am going to put it at the bottom of D. Yeah, the Amazon woman who was... Apparently is like a shaman woman, actually, but... She was the coolest part of it, but even then, she controlled exactly the same as Jason did, so... Yeah. See, I think Kong goes there, honestly. Okay, fighting game. Let's get the fighting game out of the way. Don't worry, I'll have good things to say about this fighting game at least. The King of Fighters EX, Neo Blood, actually gets an 80 on Metacritic. We finally have a Metacritic again. Artoon and Sammy Studios. It just says 2002. It doesn't have a release date. Why does it not have a release date? At least on GameVax it doesn't. It says January 1st. On just Google. So we'll go with that. Happy New Year! Okay, for all the fighting games I've played so far on this challenge, although maybe not maybe Fire Pro Wrestling, King of Fighters EX was actually pretty good. Wouldn't say it was great, but it definitely worked. The only question is, do I think it was better than Fire Pro Wrestling? Probably not. So I'll say right here, maybe, yeah, I'd say it's slightly above Colin's Crown. So yeah, I think that's where it goes. Monster Rancher Advance. This will be another interesting. Okay, this is Tecmo for both. And I need to make the frickin' video. I don't have the video started yet. I have the script loaded into my editor, and I have it fully laid out. I just need to start putting the footage with it. So I'm kind of lacking behind on the summary videos. This is the next summary video I'm supposed to be doing. It's just really hard. It's just a lot to do. This got a 76, and it's November 28th. It's really a first-year game? It was. Oh. Okay, Monster Rancher Advance. I had fun with this one. I don't think it's perfect by any stretch, but I had a lot of fun with this. I'm honestly tempted to say either A- or B+. But, you know, I had fun with this. This is one of those cases where it's like, I think the game would be better for casual players than for people doing a challenge, because you do need to know the mechanics very well before you start playing, honestly. Because if you don't know the mechanics, you'll be lost for a good long time. I'll say that now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it here. I think I'm gonna put it on the top of B right now. It's just, again, a game that needs a lot of oh yeah, the trader lady. Yeah. The trader lady. Almost forgot about her. Wow. The salute to Wokosaurus, LT Smash, and Sir Sword-a-Lot. Okay, Smashing Drive. This game does not have a good score. It doesn't even have the GBA version on here. Okay, the GBA version does not have a Metacritic score. The console versions do, and they're 40s, which are not great. We have Raylight Studios and DSi Games. that came out. November 3rd. ...2004. So yeah, as Mars said, I mean, this game was... It looked like goofy-ass fun. It's pretty much what it was. It was silly fun. Very short. Didn't offer a whole lot, but... For what it was interesting. It had some things that I feel like games like Crazy Taxi and frickin' Need for Speed needed. Just a very arcade-style racing game, really. Had some fun items. I'll put it at the bottom of B. Maybe a B minus. I was tempted to put it in okay, but... I don't know, I feel like I had more positives than negatives with it. Okay, let's keep going. We got a Deceiver over here. I mean, the Bible game. I think there's a Deceiver over there. Isn't this the Advance Wars? Yes. So when this song's ending, I need to switch over to the... Looks like it got a 60 on Metacritic. I love the GameFAQs review that's titled "The Bible Game Rocks." By the way, someone's really trying to phone that in. October 30th. Okay, Bible game. I thought it was okay. That's really all I got. You know, it had some meme funny potential, but I wouldn't say it was really that exciting. It's either a D+ or C-. What do you guys think? Do you think it's more of a C- or do you think it's more of a D+? The Whale makes it a C-. The Whale's pretty good, not gonna lie. And Satan falling into the lava, yeah. That was pretty good. D+, so many of these Bible games try to do the gaslighting thing to make themselves better because of the Christian origin of the quality of the game. Yeah, that's true. I try not to think along those lines, but I mean, that is kind of the case here, I have to admit. Yeah, I'll put it there. Okay, hold on, I need to stop this. Maybe there's a one of these I can put on for the rest of this. I think I will just try to finish this up before we do the puzzle, because I don't want to just come back later and do 20 minutes to finish it off. So I think we might hear some songs that we've already heard, but that's okay. Wow, starting with James Bond. I honestly don't know what I want to put this. I'll put it here for now. I'll put it for D+ for now. I can see it being C, because it was honestly better than I thought it was going to be. But by the end, it definitely was like overstaying its welcome a bit. Okay, well, let's move on. We're on the last row of games here. Like, Ultimate Muscle's the last one, so... There's some ones I'm surprised we haven't talked about yet, so... Okay, Robotech, the Macross Saga. Why is it on Nintendo Switch? Apparently a 61 on Metacritic. Apparently this game was on the Switch too. Developer Lucky Chicken and TDK Mediactive. October 27th, 2002. Yep. Okay, no problem, Swordmaster guy. Thank you. Yeah, have a good wedding, I guess. I know it's not for you, but like, you know, being polite. That's all. Oh, I love how. I'm looking at the GameFAQs page and it says franchises. The Robotech franchise and the Macross franchise. 2 franchises. Okay, TDK Mediactive. We've actually had that before. That was Muppets On With The Show. Oh boy, so we'll have that to compare it to. This game was okay, I think, at the end of it. I know I had issues with it, but I think that they did kind of stabilize at the end, just because of like what the game offers, and it's fairly easy to continue. But, you know, I'm just not really a huge fan of shmup games anyway, so that obviously didn't help. But, yeah, it was okay. Maybe around here-ish. Very okay. I think I'd rather play this over this game. But here, I'd be tempted to play these again over this, probably. Yeah, I'll say right there. Very okay. Wait, what can you guys see? Oh yeah, because it's... Let's do this. We're getting to the point where we're kind of... It's kind of funny because I have ads on my screen, but you guys can't see them, apparently. Which is good. Oh, you can see that ad. The better professional. Here, let's get rid of that. Oh, wait, I can't get rid of that because it's scrolling up with me. There's like an ad on the top that was like covering DBZ for a while. Oh, there's the other ad. Oh my god. Here, let's just do this. Maybe if ads would go away, the world would be a better place. I know it's not that easy. I mean, I have to use ads for my videos, so... A necessary evil, I guess you could say. Okay, let's try to wrap this up because we have 20 minutes left about. Okay, Scooby-Doo. This does not have a rating. Software Creations and THQ. October 4th, another early one. D for do. Do not play this if you're a fan of the movie. Yeah, this game was not good. Honestly, I'm honestly leaning more towards F than D anyway. It just felt really bad to play. The mystery element kind of was not great. Wasn't really implemented that great. Yeah, that was a bad surprise for sure. So if you get it wrong and you don't even know what you're looking for throughout the game, it just seems stupid, like not pointless. I'm trying to decide if it's better than Peter Pan though. It feels about the same. I think I'll slightly give it to Peter Pan here, but not by much. It just was, It was very disappointing. It doesn't make a difference, yeah. Let's get to something that's definitely not disappointing, though. And I still need to figure out something. I don't know if Odin's still here, but... I may have asked Odin... I mean, he has a much different schedule than I do, so I can't really blame him for that. But, you know, I asked him to be a potential second player for Four Swords. So maybe in the future we can figure something out. Why do I get a feeling this is going to be the highest Metacritic score? Oh my god, there's so many reviews. It's a 95 on Metacritic. I'm surprised it just says Nintendo. Didn't Capcom have something to do with the Four Swords portion? They're not credited for this, though. That's the thing. December 3rd. Okay, well, guys, it's Link to the Past. I love Link to the Past. I think the fact that they have, you know, a Four Swords mode, a different mode for it's kind of cool. The fact you can't really play it, though, unless you get Nintendo Switch Online, is kind of crappy, I guess. But it's a solid adaptation of the SNES version. It actually adds some other things, Link's voice being one of them, which a lot of people say it's a downside, but it doesn't really bother me personally. It's a really good game. It's been one of my favorites of all time on the SNES. Because it's a, you know, kind of a port, though, I can't really say it's the best game we've played for this series. I'm still gonna leave Dragon Ball up here. But, do I put it at A or S, though? That's the thing. It's gonna be at one of these two locations. I can say that right now. Yeah, but that's not... It has to be the Game Boy Advance version that I need to play. I mean, I don't need to play, but, like... I have the option to do it. I can do it. You know what? Yeah, you guys convinced me. I'll say S. Maybe later I might change my mind, but I think... It's that good. It's that good of a port. And it has, again, it has an additional feature, too, so... But Dragon Ball is still the king. Dragon Ball is still the king. Here's another king. Maybe. Chicken Little. I got a 71 on that, which honestly is not terrible. Artificial Mind and Movement. Buena Vista Games, 71. Chicken Skittle. October 18th. What year again? 2005? Man, there's still some stuff in the second batch we haven't covered yet. For the tier list stream, I mean. Okay. Chicken Little was okay. That's all I got. It was an okay game. I think I Honestly, I think I did enjoy it more than, like, Monsters, Inc. and Nicktoons Unite. So I'll put it here. I think it had some interesting ideas. The car racing stage was stupid. The Captain Ace sections were pretty fun. So, you know, it had some stuff going for it. I was not disappointed by it. Bosses were tedious, yeah, but you know, those were the negatives of what was otherwise a pretty decent, okay game. I wouldn't say it was good, though. So, that's all I got. Okay, Iron Man. Not just Iron Man, the invincible Iron Man. Taurus Games, Activision. Is this Hamtaro? Yep. 16. December 15. This apparently got a 68 on Metacritic. December 15th, 2002. Slavko, where the F are you? No. He's probably being Slav somewhere. As he does. Okay. Invincible Iron Man. This was either a D or F experience. It was not that fun. It was really awkwardly hard. You took contact damage from everything. Some of the levels were kind of confusing to get around. Had some creative bosses, I guess, but yeah, I didn't have fun with this one. I didn't really enjoy it that much. It's either, again, a D- or F+, I guess. I like the Monster Hunter rendition of Hamtaro. Wow. Also, wait. What can you guys see? You can't see the games anymore, but probably don't need to. Let me just put them all on there, just so they're all here. People are talking more about Hamtaro than Iron Man. Yeah, exactly. I think it had potential. It just did not utilize it very well at all. So I'll say right here. Kind of similar in the Kong game, I guess, in that respect. Okay, guys, it's time for Tak. Tak and the Power of Juju. Apparently got a 79 on Metacritic. It's a golden Tak! Was this also THQ? It sure was. Got a 79. And this is the GBA version I'm talking about. October 15th, 2003. Okay. Okay. Tak was good. I don't think I would say it was great, but it was definitely, I'd say it was on the higher end of good for sure. It was my first TAC experience, and it was an enjoyable one. Pretty simple platformer. Honestly, I'll put it at the top of B. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Close to being A, but B for back to the TAC, which I look forward to going back to TAC. Ah! Okay, sorry. In fact, I actually have another one of the TAC games on GBA. Once again, in addition to Pet Resort, Wolf Kaminari gave me TAC, The Great Juju Challenge, which I think is the third game. So we'll play that at some point, but I do actually have that game, which is kind of cool. So, yeah. Yeah, TAC was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It's a solid 2D platformer. So, yeah, great to see it here, honestly. Okay, Top Gun, Firestorm Advance. We're almost done, guys. Fluid Studios, Titus Software. It does not have a score, and it's November 26th, 2002. This game was okay. Honestly, it did the flight simulator thing better than Blades of Thunder, that's for sure. I'm tempted to say either B- or C+, honestly. There's another kind of like really short game that didn't really overstay its welcome that much. Yep. Final Fantasy Tactics, one of the games I'm actually looking forward most to playing at some point, so that should be fun. I honestly don't remember having a lot of issues with it either. Let me consult my rankings for this. I'm curious to what I gave it in the moment. Maybe I can use that to kind of help me determine where to put this. Let's see, I gave it a... Oh, there it is. I gave it a 3.5. Which I gave Smashing Drive a 4, which doesn't seem right. I think that's fine then. I'll probably put it here then for that. If I gave this a 4, then that means I clearly enjoyed it to some degree. I remember to not scroll down on this page. Okay, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. wait, hold on. This got a 95 on Metacritic? Holy crap. I knew it got a good score, but like I didn't expect that high. And this was another launch game. Actually, it says May 30th, 2001. Vicarious Visions and Activisions. Tied with ALTTP. Above Dave Mira. Oh, you're saying for the Metacritic, yeah. Okay, I do kind of see what you're saying. It's around here for sure. I think SSX3 definitely goes above it. I think as a game, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 is probably better than Dave Mira, so I'll put it here. It's just, again, I had a bad rough experience, but I think it's a game that, like, as I play more of it, I probably would enjoy it more. Probably. That'd be my guess, anyway. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, let's get this next one. We're almost done. Inspector Gadgets. No rating. November 29th. Magic Pockets and Dreamcatcher Interactive. Yo, Magic Pockets. Is it one word or two? It's one word. This was, I believe, a 2001 game. Inspector Gadget, where I thought Penny was more OP than what she really was. Penny was the better character. Inspector Gadget was basically just Doof. Mr. Doof. Penny did all the real work. Inspector Gadget was okay. Middle of the road, I'd say. I think I enjoyed, in general, these more. Yeah, I'd say right here. That's probably a good place for it. Okay. Well, we have two games that I'm actually really looking forward to ranking. Oh, okay, no, I see what you're saying, yeah. That's when I make the video for that, I'm probably gonna have to rewatch that because I just do not remember a whole lot about the game already. I have to do that for so many of the games. I'm like, my scripts are just all over the place. I actually finished the Lemony Snicket script today, which felt good to get that done at least. Okay, well, Advance Wars. This got a 92 on Metacritic, which I'm really happy about. It has the very, very unfortunate release dates of 9. Well, it says 9/9 here, but for North America it was 9/11. Very, very unfortunate release date. We also have Intelligent Systems and Nintendo. Okay, guys, I'm gonna be real with you. I love how this has been going. Like, the top of my list has been going, with Dragon Ball being the ultimate. I really love Advance Wars. It has to be up there. I mean, do I think Advance Wars 2 is better? Yes, but like, I think Advance Wars 1 still holds up well. The Advance campaign is really hard, but like, I feel like it's supposed to be. That's kind of the point of it. And I think it just it introduces America to just a really great series that I think, you know, stands the test of time. I think it's still fun to play today. And, you know, it does have the Reboot Camp game that's out now, which I do heavily recommend. But, yeah, it's a great game. It's always been a favorite of mine, for sure. There was no way that was not going to be the top game here, because it was just a really good game. Really good game. Big recommendation. And, you know, Advance Wars 2, another really solid title. Would heavily recommend that as well, but obviously we haven't played that yet, so we'll talk about that more when we actually get to it. Okay. 3 more games, guys. 3 more games. The next one, I'm also looking forward to talking about because of reasons. Oh my god. Why is everyone so wrong about this game? It says developer AI? Is that actually the name of the... Something doesn't seem right about that. It's Hudson Soft and AI, I guess. Or AL lowercase l. It doesn't really... No, it's I. It's I. I just copied the letter and put it in there, and it said... It gave me just auto search of stuff that started with I. I guess I'll put both. But publisher Nintendo, obviously. Okay, guys, oh wait, I haven't finished. Here's what I'm really mad about. It does not have a good score on Metacritic. It has a 54. But I mean, hey, so did Barnyard. Had a low score that didn't probably deserve. And March 28th. Okay. You guys know how I feel about this game if you watched me do that playthrough. Absolutely F the haters. It's going in A tier. No, I really like Mario Party Advance. It's not like the classic games, but I think it's still very fun. I think it's got a lot of enjoyability to it, and has a lot of charm. It has some really fun mini games. I think the concept's really unique. It was just probably misdirected as a Mario Party title. Maybe it shouldn't have been called that. Maybe it should have been called something else. Because consumers are very fickle. They expect, you know, if something's part of a series, that needs to be like a staple of that series. So, I really like Mario Party Advance. So, like, even though it is probably more of a B type of game, I would still give it an A on my behalf. I still really like it, enjoy it. So, I'm going to put it there. Yeah, BK nuts and bolts situation. More than likely, yeah. Do I want to put it here a little higher? I'll put it over Doom. I won't put it over the other Mario game. Yeah, I think it's a great game. How much do we have left of this video? 23 minutes. We can get through the last two games in 23 minutes. I hope. It'd be bad if I couldn't. Okay. X-Men. X-Men, Reign of Apocalypse. This was a 61. Digital Eclipse and Activision. And its release date was September 25th. Another early GBA because it was 2001. Okay, so X-Men, Reign of Apocalypse, keep doing that. It was C. It's very basic. I don't really have too much to say about this. Honestly, I kind of feel like leaving it right there, honestly. It was very, very mid. Not bad. Just mid. Okay. Last game, folks. Ultimate Muscle. Ultimate Muscle. Shunda Bandai. Apparently it's got a 70 on Metacritic. I am missing a lot of scores, and some I need to go back and redo to see if I can find them elsewhere. June 5th, 2003. Definitely didn't inspire me to check out the series. That's pretty much where I stand, too. It goes below Fire Pro Wrestling. I enjoyed Fire Pro Wrestling way more than I enjoyed this. I didn't hate this game, but lower end of C and higher end of D for sure. I'll put it here just because I just don't enjoy fighting games that much. So yeah, I'll keep it here. But yeah, that's pretty much how I felt. It had some interesting ideas and some interesting modes, but like a really, really long tutorial The fighting was very weird, but I mean, I guess it worked. But, you know, Fire Pro Wrestling did so much more, I think. And, yeah, that's it, guys. We tiered up everything. Yeah, the exact opposite problem. Okay, let me get rid of this. I'm gonna zoom in so we have a master view of this creation that we've made. I don't know what I moved there, but whatever. Okay. There we go. That's the tier list so far. And honestly, like, okay, let me ask you guys this. What did you guys think of, like, kind of a lettering system as opposed to the numbering system I've been using? And do you think that, like, maybe this system is more encompassing of, like, the scores we have, like, in the actual video, basically? Or, I don't know. I just want to compare this rating system to what I currently have and figure out something that just makes sense, that's easy to understand, and just is better, I guess. You prefer the lettering over the numbering? I think I am gonna do that, because I don't know what it was, but like I was just like, when I was like driving around this week, like taking care of my errands, I was just thinking in my car about this tier list stream, and I don't know, I thought like, you know, I think if I get all these games into a tier, maybe that just should be the ranking system from now on. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I could honestly brand it kind of like Advance Wars. Because, you know, you have like the S ranks and stuff. So like when I do the scores and stuff, like maybe when I get to that point, I pop up with that thing. And yeah, I could give like the minuses and pluses to borderline cases. Yeah. I think that is better. Like I'm still going to talk about like the old system and like how I would like, you know, give numbers and stuff. Like I'll still talk about all those, like the enjoyment and then of course the difficulty, because that's important for a challenge of this nature. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Would you say some games are S+ tier like Advance Wars? I mean, in that case, probably not. I mean, to get S tier, like you just have to be a great part of the system. Honestly, like Four Swords could honestly be an A+. I think it's... Zelda could be a A+ case more than an S case in some respects, but I do really, really love the game. I think it's an excellent port, and... yeah, I don't know. I think S is just kind of like it stands on its own as like, hey, this goes beyond a normal grading system. So, yeah. Those are my general thoughts, anyway. Wait a minute, is this... Okay, this is Star Wars, but it's not the Star Wars. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up this part of the stream. I am going to do a jigsaw puzzle after this, so if you want to stick around and be part of that, you can. But this was fun. I look forward to doing this after each 50-game milestone. But yeah, I think we'll definitely come back and do this after every 50 games. And what's kind of perfect is I have my top 10 of GBACE right here. Because there's 3 in S and then there's 7 in A. That's perfect. I didn't even realize that. Okay. Well, let's move on over to this screen. I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick, get the puzzle set up and everything. Like I said, if you want to be a part of it, you're willing to stick around, by all means. Yeah, like, I think the barnyard inclusion is, like, the most wildest one, honestly. But it was a really great game, so there you go. When you're a great game, you'll get high rankings, honestly, so that's the way it is. Okay, well, no more Star Wars music. Okay, well, I'm going to go save this image. I'm going to go use the bathroom, and when I come back, we're going to do a jigsaw puzzle. I may not make it like... I might make it like 500 pieces as opposed to 600. Just to make it a little smaller, because I don't know if there's going to be a lot of interest. I have noticed that the interest in the jigsaw puzzles has kind of diminished a bit. But, I mean, it was diminishing even when I was doing them weekly, so... you know, and I don't want to... We are starting pretty much a half an hour late, so... Yeah, we're better just do that. But yeah, I'll be right back, guys. As far as the next GBA stream, won't be till next Saturday. We'll play some Jimmy Neutron and then continue on with the baseball game as we try to work through that. But yeah, I'll be right back.